Okay, I was on Reddit and I noticed there was a conversation about the birthday paradox. So I had to kind of refresh my memory what the birthday paradox is. And basically it says only 23 individuals are required to reach a 50% probability of a shared birthday. So I was saying as you randomly put 23 people in a room and ask everybody what their birthday is, there's at least a 50% probability that two people are going to have the same birthday. Not birth year, but birthday. So I thought that'd be interesting to do, show you how powerful Excel is, to basically show this, demonstrate this, using something called the Monte Carlo method. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take 23 people and randomly give them birthdays and see if two of them match, two or more match. And we'll do it again and again and again and see how many times that happens. So we need well, I'll just say 2022 is the year we're going to use. And then we'll say individuals. And we're going to have 23 of them, right? So I'll go 1, 2, and we'll go all the way down until it says 23. Now we have 23 individuals. And then we'll give them random birthdays. So I'll go equals rand between, and we'll go date. And normally it wants the year. It tells you what it wants here: the year, the month, the day. So the year is this. So I'm going to copy this down. So I want to make sure I hit F4 to make sure that it doesn't move off 2022 when I count it down. So you could type those dollar signs or hit F4. That's a shortcut way to put those dollar signs in there. And the month will start at January 1st. And then between, that's the start. And then so it says here bottom and top, right? So now I'm going to look for the top. There's going to be date. Again, this year. F4 it. And then 12/31. Oop, 31. Close the parentheses twice. And that gives you, now I already formatted this as date. You might have to go up here and format it as a date. But I've already done it. And then we can copy that down. And every time I hit F9 now, it's going to recalculate, right? And give you a bunch of random dates. So now we have to figure out, well, how are we going to get Excel to tell if it's going to match? What we could do is we could sort them and then see if they're next to each other. If they're identical next to each other after you sort them, then they matched. So first we'll sort the birthdays. And I'll go equal sort. And we'll just sort these. Alright, so that gives you something called a spilled array. And see how it's got blue around there? So it sorted them and then spilled it down. So now we can actually just look at this and see, did any of these match? Okay, so that one probably, I don't see anything that matches. I hit F9 again I'm going to throw 23 more people randomly in a room and then sort it. And we look again. Okay, right here at the end, there's two people that match, right? So if those two match, I would say match. So we can make Excel do that. So we'll just say matches. And yeah, we don't need to, there's nothing to, we'll check this one or the one above it, right? So I'm not going to put a formula here, but I'll put one here. So we go equals if this equals this. Well, then what do I want to do? It says if it's true, well, I'll just say match. And if it's false, we'll just leave a blank. So I'll just do a parenthesis with nothing in it. And then we'll copy that formula down. I'll send it down by double clicking here. And now let me zoom out a little bit so you can see everything. So every time I hit F9, so there's actually not just, so here's two of them, and here's two of them that match. So there's two sets of people that have matching birthdays. So not just one, but two. Do it again. There's one. There's one. There's one. There's none. There's one. So every time I hit F9, so it's interesting actually. We learned something. It's not just one set. Sometimes it's two sets or three or more. And actually, there could be like sometimes where there's 3 people have the same birthday, right? So anyway, so let's see what's going on here. So Monte Carlo analysis to do this many, many times. So before we do it many, many times, we have to count how many are in there for one time. So I'm going to go equals count if. I'm going to count if now this first one is not going to have anything, right? So I just have to highlight there. If that range, that's I'm going to go comma. If that has match in it, I want to count it. So that time, so every time I have 9, it'll tell me how many matches there are. So let's go again, F9, there's 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 0, 0, 1, 2. So we can do that many, many times, and then let's see what the probability that's going to happen. So I'm going to go here, trials, and I'm going to go 1, and let's just do it just so Excel doesn't take a long time. We only do like 1,000 trials. So that's like hitting F9 1,000 times, right? So I'm going to go over here to fill, and I'm going to go series, and I'm going to stop at 1,000. And I want to make sure I fill in columns right here. And then if I go OK, and then what I'm going to do something called a data table. So I'm going to highlight this all the way down to 1,000. And then I'm going to go insert, or I'm going to go to data, what if analysis, data table. And these are in columns. Now here's a trick when you're doing Monte Carlo. I want it to randomly seed that. So I'm just going to click on a blank cell. And then if I go OK, it randomly, so that's like hitting F9 1,000 times. Pretty cool, right? That's a little trick a lot of people don't know. So now we could say, now let's just see how many matches there are. So go matches, and we have 0, 1, 2, and it's highly unlikely you're going to have more than 10 matches. So I'll just go down to like 10, and then we'll count how many there are. How many times that occurs. So I'll go equals count if, and my range is going to be all these. I'm going to go hit an F4 because I want to copy this formula down. And if it's 0, then I want to count it. So right now, before I hit F9, there's 492 times they didn't match anybody. So hit F9 again. You guys get the idea. 504, 518, 504. So a lot of those times, if it's above 500, then that means this is not true, because you have to have a 50% probability. So, but if we do this many, many times, I probably should have used 1,000. Anyway, so now we're counting each one of these. I'm having second thoughts here. But anyway, so this time at F9, this is true, right? The more you use, the more accurate this is going to be. So now I can do something called the relative frequency. And if I sum this down here, I'll go to home, go to auto sum. Should add up to 1,001, right? Because we're including this one on top plus 1,000 trials. So the relative frequency is equal to this divided by this, F4. And those sum up, that should sum up to 100%. All right, so in this case, this was not true because 52% did not match. But it hit F9 again. That's not true again. But there it's true. So I suspect if I would use more trials, this would probably be true pretty much all the time. Because again, we're just estimating. So every time I hit F9, we were checking it, right? So there's the time where I did it 1,000 times and it wasn't true. There's true, right? So you can see that it is true because all of these, they sum up to, in this case, if you look down here, 53.15%. If I hit F9 again, look down here, 50% or more. So it is 50%. So most of the time, it's not true. It's 49, 53. So anyway, you get the idea. So So that's very easy to, that shows you how cool it is to use Monte Carlo. I realize you can do this using math, right? Very easily using math. But it's kind of cool, like if you don't know any math and you don't know any statistics, you can still, now again, you want to use as many trials as you can. I would normally use more trials, but in order to it's going to take longer to calculate, and I don't want to spend a lot of time calculating in this video. That's why I use so few trials. But normally I would have used like maybe 10,000 trials, and then this would have probably very rarely been above 50%, right? So you're just not using enough trials. But the more trials you use, so that's why it's called the Monte Carlo analysis, because you just do it many times and just count it and see what happens. And so you can set this up with a lot of things. So anyway, hopefully that was interesting. If you like this video, my picture will come up here, and if you haven't subscribed already, click on that picture to subscribe. Also, give me a thumbs up. I like comments. If you like it, give me a comment. I will try to put a link to this file. I'll try to put a link to it in the comment section, or in the title section somewhere. I'll put like a link to it if you want to download it. So anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Bye.